if the impersonators truly took off, and I want to now stress the verb take off here. I wouldn't say no to a tour, but like I said, I wish it was that simple where I could call somebody and say, listen, I want to come and play California, make it happen. You know? I'm about a zillion miles from that, you know. No, sorry, zillion light years from that.
That is understandable. But, you know, like you said, if someone calls and said, hey, we have a show, we have a venue, we have an event, come on down.
Yeah, why not? I mean, that's how the plans for England came about. And you know, but you know, we'll cross that. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it, if I ever get to it.
That's exciting. It sounds like you have a couple of new things coming your way and hopeful things coming in the future. Sounds pretty exciting.
Oh yeah, I'm super excited about all the releases that are coming up. The new Hubcap song, "You Drive Me Insane," which I just sent in for mastering, is a really, really cool tune. I've had it forever. It's one of those old songs that I finished accidentally. You know, I was looking for an MP3 by, I don't remember even who. My son had saved it somewhere on the computer, and by accident I clicked on that file, and this is about maybe 3 weeks ago, and the demo came on, and my son looked at me and said, why aren't you doing this song? It's really, really good. And I thought, you know, well, you're actually right. Let's drop the one I was going to do and let me record this instead. So so I'm excited about it. I'm also hoping that folks will find it worthy. But we're going now to the area that's basically the most unpredictable in music. You never know how people are going to react to whatever you're releasing. That's the fun part of it, but it's also the scary part of it, you know.
Because really anyone's opinion. Have you gotten any type of review that have just a negative one though that has stuck with you?
Oh, over the years, tons. When I started out, you know, I kept them all. I have a binder. There's hundreds of reviews over the years because I've been at this for a long time. My favorite one is from 2001, where a reviewer said that they would rather saw their head off than listen to what Tom Ticca has to say on the CD. Oh. That's one of the worst. But I mean, you can't help them though. I mean, then maybe 10 years later, when after all the hits, the same guy reviewed Carmen Gray's Gates of Loneliness album, gave it 5 stars. So I've forgiven him. but that's what happens, you know, when you start out and you're nobody. And let's face it, you're not even that good. You're bound to get bad reviews. And I think that the in terms of reviews, I think it's good that they're also critical. That makes it real. I always read them, and even today, every once in a while, you get a review where somebody says that he could have thought about this and maybe gone here instead of that. And then I read it, and usually I'm like, yeah, it's a good idea. So I think that reviews, whether they're positive or negative, if they're really well written, they're cool because they do kind of guide you on your way as well. I read them carefully, not just because if I get a good one, I want to read the praise, but there might be some things that are critical that actually I was already thinking about or I haven't thought of that I can learn from. So for me, it's really a two-way street. I really, really, I'm grateful for the fact, regardless of the tone, that people take the time to listen to my music and write something about it. Because I think it does take time. And it's not a given that people will do that. So as a young guy, I remember being crushed and angry. As somebody who's been in the business for 20 years, I'm impressed if somebody takes the time. That's I'm really, really, really impressed.
I have never heard someone take a outlook on reviews. Like I've heard people say, oh, a review, it makes me laugh, even the negative ones or the positive ones. but I've never heard someone really take it into the mindset of you've taken it of maybe it's something I could learn from or something I missed or I thought about.
Yeah, because I mean, the best ones, because the thing is that we all have this defense mechanism. I think that the longer you're on your professional highway, so lack of a better term here, I think that the more you appreciate just the fact that people take the time. And let's face it, especially with your own stuff, sometimes you're just very, very close to it and you're not the best critic. And I always tell my kids about life, and the same applies to music. I think that if somebody ever says something critical about you that, gets you upset, then cool down, because that probably means that they have something. There's a grain of truth in what they were saying. I always, my dad used to say that he has no use for friends who just pat his back, because for him, friendship was about growth, about, learning from your friends and becoming a better person, individual, personal growth. And I think it's the same thing with reviews. It's the same thing with actually collaboration. If I play something to our producer and he says, it's a nice tune, you got anything else? I'm certainly not going to say that, what do you mean you don't like this? I'm going to say that, give me a couple of days and I'll knock a few off and I'll send you another one. I always took the attitude of wanting to learn, wanting to get better, improve. And I don't know, maybe somebody has some magic, some better idea to do it. But for me, it comes from interaction, learning from other people. It doesn't matter if the person's 15 or 75. If they have a great idea, and I feel it's constructed criticism where somebody's not just putting you down, but suggesting something that you might have something to improve, I'll take it.
Well, thank you, Tom. I liked talking to you today, and especially having that positive outlook on reviews. I think I'm going to share that with everyone now.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, don't go out and say that this is a guy who loves bad reviews. I mean, I still want people to love me. Just, write anything you want. He'll love it.
So when all of these releases come out and everyone from the States hears this episode, where are they finding your releases? Is it all on Spotify and iTunes?
Yeah, the missing hubcaps are there, and that's where the impersonators is. You also find Carmen Gray there. I think because of the nature of the missing hubcaps, they don't have social media sites. I'm promoting that project through the impersonators' Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Now that I've sort of decided that every once in a while I revisit that project, then perhaps in the future they'll have their social media sites. But for the time being, the best way to find out about what I'm doing is probably go to the impersonators' Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, or the webpage, impersonatorsmusic.com.
Sounds good. I'll be sure to check out and wait for those releases to come out. Well, thanks for talking with me today.
Hey, thanks for having me on the show. This was a true pleasure.
A musician from Finland. Woo woo. I'm excited, guys. I am smiling from ear to ear. The fact that I have been able to connect and speak with artists that are overseas. It's a great experience for me. I'm happy that I'm able to share this experience with you. I'm your host, Rockshana. Today's guest was Tommy Tika. Be sure to tune in each week for a new episode. And remember, everything and anything goes. The sky is the limit.
Music for the Things of That Nature podcast is an original track brought to you by Jared Sacramento called Dosage.